Greetings, fellow songwriters and seekers, and welcome back to Muse and Measure. If you've not done so yet, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button down below, and help us out with our cause to spread the word about songwriting and spiritual practice and how they are conjoined. One helps the other, and maybe one is the other. We shall see. All right, so we've been talking about seeds, and seeds are a really, really important part of the songwriting process that are often overlooked. People kind of jump to the next step very, very quickly, but if you don't have good seeds, it's pretty hard to have good songs. And now a really skilled songwriter can take a mediocre seed and make a great song out of it, but if we're just beginning and we don't have a lot of experience, then the better seeds will definitely be more fruitful for us. And so I want to talk today about a new type of seed, but also how to kind of do a quality check on your seeds so that you're not kind of thwarting yourself and wasting your time and energy on bad seeds. So today's seed is the lyric seed. And the lyric seed is the easiest to deal with because constantly going throughout our day we are inundated with words, unless you're living in some kind of monastery where people have taken a vow of silence. Words are constantly coming at us at all times. And if you are attuned to it and you've got that songwriting mentality, you are listening for unique words and phrases that people are speaking. As you are commuting, you hear people having dialogues. You're reading texts, maybe you're listening to the radio, people are talking on that. When you get home from work, maybe you're watching a show or a movie, and you're listening for these little seed ideas, which are these little phrases, little 2 or 3 words that that kind of hit you and go, oh wow, that's a great line, or that's a great title, that's a great hook. Now, they're called lyric seeds, but they really encompass titles, refrains, hooks. And if you're working in the country music genre, the title and the hook or the refrain is really, really essential, because a lot of country music songs that rely on the verse-refrain model really need a strong hook. I think of Hank Williams' I'll Never Get Out of This World Alive, where every single verse ends with, no matter how I struggle and strive, I'll never get out of this world alive, which is a great line. I'll never get out of this world alive. Of course, what does that mean? Means that we're all going to die, but it's kind of in this ironic thing. It's like it's making it much more urgent, and like it's not supposed to happen, like he's cursed or something, as opposed to all of us, which have that same curse. Now, since these lyric seeds are easy to gather, you don't need any kind of special device. You don't need to know any music theory. All you need is a notepad or some way of writing down these lyric seeds. Oftentimes we can have an overabundance of them. So I want to talk a little bit about how we can test these seeds and see if they're worth spending our time on to nurture and do all the things we need to do with literal seeds, but also to spend our time in the songwriting session. Because if you have a weak seed that doesn't really have much magic to it or mojo to it, then you might be wasting your time. Okay, so some things to think about. Does this lyric seed, this little phrase, title or hook, or however you want to think about it, does it have some kind of emotional resonance to it? Does it reveal some kind of emotional truth? If it doesn't do that, does it tell a story? I can think of the title, Going 90 Miles an Hour Down a Dead-End Street. Well, right there, I get this story in my mind, like somebody's driving really, really fast, 90 miles an hour down a dead street, and I'm filled with the questions, that great stories have. This is what Roland Barthes talked about when he talked about the hermeneutic code, is that, great stories have this question. The author produces these questions in our mind, which makes us want to get to the end to have those questions answered. So why is somebody going 90 miles an hour down a dead-end street? Okay, so that's something to check for your lyric seed. Does it have emotional resonance? Does it tell a story? Does it create some kind of mental image? Do you get a clear picture in your head just through these words, right? So these are some tests. And then also, is it authentic to you? Does it sound like something you would say? Does it point to your own personal style and your voice? Does it show your sense of humor, your philosophical outlook, your spiritual perspective? Now, for me, like I've talked about this song a few times, but It's Been So Long Since Yesterday is a very kind of simple lyric, or lyric seed, I should say, because it doesn't have any kind of crazy surrealistic images. But it also it does have that as a kernel. So I like mixing the highbrow with the lowbrow. I love the kind of surrealistic, super abstract, strange, mixed with just basic, mundane, everyday experience. And I like trying to use as simple of language as possible. So the reason that works for me as a lyric seed is that it's been so long since yesterday. Well, it's already kind of absurd because yesterday wasn't that long ago. And to say it's been so long since yesterday automatically is kind of an absurd phrase, right? So going back to our tests about some kind of emotional truth, well, it reveals an emotional truth because someone who's deeply in love loses all perspective about time, that even the smallest amount of time seems like an eternity when it's away from the person that they are infatuated with. And so this lyric gives some kind of emotional truth because it really points to what it's like to be in that emotional state, that something as close as yesterday seems like an eternity because of this emotional state they're in. They've been really stripped of all their perspective, and it reveals an emotional truth about infatuation. Okay? Now, that doesn't create an image in the head. There's not a strong image that comes from those lyrics, and it doesn't tell a story, but I can flesh that out in the song when I take it to the songwriting session. And because it's a strong hook, already I know, well, maybe this could be a country song because it's a strong hook, a strong line that could be used as the title for the song, but also something that could be put at the end of each verse. So if you want to hear that song, I have a demo version of it that I made an AI YouTube video for, and I'll put it down in the link. Okay. Often we can take cliches. So cliches are just overused phrases, beat around the bush, dime a dozen, things like that. Things you just heard all your life that you just kind of, they just sound old and beaten up. They've lost all their kind of emotional resonancy and their impact because they're just overused. They're just, there's an overabundance, right? Well, oftentimes we can take those cliches, and the gift of other people is that people often use these cliches in the wrong way, and they reveal some kind of new truth or some kind of new insight or just something funny by their misuse of it. So we want to avoid our cliches. So another test you could have for your lyric ideas is what I'm saying trite or cliche? Has this been said over and over again in the exact same way by myriad other songwriters? Or am I taking a cliche and turning it on its head? Okay? Giving it some kind of fresh outlook. So once again, like when you hear people, like hopefully you have some kind of Ringo in your life who's always saying wacky things like it's been a hard day's night or I love you 8 days a week, that kind of a thing, where you can take those malapropisms and use them and go, that's great, I'm going to use that as a song, that's funny, it's been a hard day's night, things like that. So I'll talk about some examples of kind of cliches that songwriters have used in a brand new way. Because it's fine to work with a cliche if you're going to bring some kind of new light to it and breathe new life into it through your songwriting process. So the very famous song by Dolly Parton, I will always love you. How many gazillion songs are there that say that? But the twist on it, and what's so great about Dolly Parton and her songwriting skill, is that she takes something that's an absolute cliche that, just like bore us to tears, I'll always love you, and she makes it a song about saying goodbye to somebody. And it's not a romantic love that she's singing about, it's a platonic love. This is somebody that she felt very close with as a mentor and a friend, and somebody who really launched her career. This is a song she wrote for Porter Wagner. And she makes it more universal than that. She's not writing in her lyrics specifically about, Porter Wagner and every little, detailed thing that he did for her or their interactions. But you still get that sense that this is a goodbye song, right? So I will always love you, but so long, right? So that's what makes it so potent, gives it some kind of new possibilities, is because people usually say, I will always love you, when they are going to continue the relationship and it's going to go on forever. But this is about the ending of a relationship, so that's why it works. Another example is Love is a Battlefield by Pat Benatar. She sings, this is a cliche that, oh yes, love is like, war, all things are fair in love and war. There's another cliche. But then the song is intensely about like a battle, about some kind of taking up sides and forces and really going to war with somebody. Another great example of someone who does this is that George Jones song called "The Battle," when he talks about this fight with his love and goes in and uses all the metaphors of battle to describe how they're interacting and how they're assaulting one another. So that's a really, really great way of taking a cliche and turning it on its head. Born in the USA, that classic Bruce Springsteen song. Now, even Ronald Reagan used this as a campaign slogan song because he totally missed the point of Born in the USA. That it's not a song about patriotism. It's about how working class veterans have been betrayed by the American system and being left by the wayside and being basically dishonored and used and basically, abandoned by American society. So it's really a song about how America has lost its way, as opposed to it being a patriotic song. But the title, Born in the USA, makes people, they want to wave the American flag and say, America, but it's about something much more deeper than that. So that's how that cliche is used in something brand new and reveals something really, really potent. Lastly, Gillian Welch, one of my favorite songwriters and singers, even though I probably mispronounce her name constantly. Gillian Welch, not Gillian. She has that great song, Everything is Free Now, one of my favorites. And that's a very, very cliche idea, like, oh, everything is free, best things in life are free, it's all about embracing, all the freedoms that we have in life, because the best things are free. But the song ends up being about how it's destroying the careers and livelihood of musicians. And it's talking about how, because everything is free on streaming, and this is the early days of that when Napster came out, that you have all of a sudden people getting this copyrighted material, songs and music that people were being paid for, the musicians, and all of a sudden they're getting it for free. So it's ripping off these musicians and all their hard work. So she's taking that cliche and turning it on its head. Okay? So you can do all these things with cliches, and this is just a way to check your lyric seeds before you take them into the songwriting session. So once again, does it have emotional resonance? Does it reveal some new emotional truth? Does it tell a story just in a few words? Does it create some kind of mental image? Is it authentic to you? Does it reveal something about your sense of humor, your philosophical outlook, your perspective? Is it telling something about your life and your story? Because you want to write something that's honest for you. Or maybe you're taking on a persona, so does it reveal something about your character? So that's fine too. Is it a cliche? Now, if it's a cliche, you might just want to dump it, like say, okay, 20,000 people have already done this idea. This boat has already sailed so many times that I'm not going to add anything new to this idea. Or are you taking a cliche and turning it on its head and revealing something new through a cliche, which is a great, great tactic because people are open to things they know. In fact, we like what we know already. And so by giving people something they've heard before, they're going to be open to it. And then when you twist it, you are going in, it's a little trick, and you're changing their perspective and their mental state without them perceiving it. And that's what really great art does, is it takes the familiar and makes it unfamiliar, defamiliarizes it. and so that our consciousness is expand, our perspective is widened, and that's what the potential of art is, and that's why probably you got into songwriting in the first place, is to be able to do that because you experienced it through other songs. Anyway, so that's lyric seeds. So once again, go out and gather these lyric seeds, have your ears open to dialogue, things people say. If you've got a friend who is brilliant at these malapropisms, who's always messing up and misspeaking things, that friend is not an annoyance for your, for your own intelligence, or just, that they're always messing things up and you feel you need to correct them. That person is a gift, and you should be, paying close attention to what they say, because they are your Ringo, and they will offer you all these great song lyric seeds. All right. Well, best of luck in gathering these seeds, and please let me know how it goes. Write something in the comments. If you have any questions, you can write it in the comments or send me a direct email at tyler@musemeasure.com. Until next time, best of luck with your songwriting and spiritual practice.